All right, welcome everybody. This is a special episode of Complete Football Africa. We're beginning our coverage of AFCON 2025. Before we focus on the great teams like Senegal, who I tip for winning this whole thing, or South Africa, the latest, newest pretenders, we're going to focus on a team that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, Cameroon. We don't even know what their squad is going to be. Come on, Cameroon. Don't fuck with us. We need to talk about your squad. We know that you guys are going down, but you play that hard physical type of football, but you need to tell us what your squad is. And this just points to the chaos in Cameroon, in which two different coaches, two different squads, two different organizations are being presented as representing in this competition. And if they're not careful, they're going to be banned by FIFA.
FIFA.
So
Mm.
FIFA. So what's going on is that Brice, I think his name is
Yeah,
Brice
Mark Break.
Mark Brie. Um, I think they said that in June earlier this year, he resigned over salaries. He's claiming he didn't resign and that somebody tapped his email and gave a letter of resignation. So he was going back and forth, but it seems like Samuel Eto'o, who's the head of the Football Federation, wants to get rid of him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And in December, it was mentioned that he was sacked, but he's refusing to sack. And the sports ministry is standing by him, saying that he's their head coach, so he's not going to stay. Now, the Football Federation with Eto'o is saying, no, this guy must go and we must bring in, what's the name of the guy that they want? Pagao.
Yeah, David
Pago.
Pagam.
They want Pago, who's a black guy, and the Federation wants the white boy, Brie. I'm not going to take sides on this, but I want to know what's going on. Did they pay Brie? If they didn't pay him, also I think Brie dropped Onana, and I think Eto'o wants Onana on the team. So this is pure chaos. Now FIFA recognizes the Football Federation, which is what Eto'o is the head of, but the ministry
No,
says they do. Yeah, FIFA. What are you going to say?
yeah, no. I'm saying I'm correcting you there on the Eto'o thing. Eto'o's initial squad, coached by Pago, they dropped Andre Onana and Vincent Abubakar because
Okay, so
they have
Bree
a
brought Anana back in. Okay, so Bree was the one who wants to play him,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
okay? No
exactly.
problem. Okay, no
And
problem. But anyways, go ahead.
no, no, and the rumors are like, no. Eto'o is he's omitting Abubakar because Abubakar is close to the gold record of 55. I think it's 55 or 58 by Eto'o, and Abubakar is at 45. So they're like, hey, this guy might, but
So he's
it's
playing
other
games.
internal stuff. So it's a two-edged sword. There's a political
Yeah.
struggle in it, and there's a pride side of it. So it's a really messed up situation.
Well, here's my argument. It's not Eto'o that should be choosing the coach. That should be choosing the players. It should be the coach. It should be the
Exactly.
coach. Eto'o is not the coach. He's not the manager of the team. Now maybe Padau will do what Eto'o tells him. So the case being
That's
now is
what
that who is
yeah.
going to be the coach? From what I hear, because FIFA once said that these guys will be banned if they don't solve this problem, and FIFA backs the federation. But I hear that the president of Cameroon has stepped in at the last minute and said, the, these guys have to settle this thing. But it sounds like Brie is going to stay as the coach, but they still haven't released their 23-man squad. Hopefully, you said Abubakar. Hopefully, they keep him there because I don't want a situation where he's left off the team just because Eto'o wants to be the man with the goals. That I don't know if that's true, but if it's true, it's rubbish. So now all we're waiting is for their final squad. This is chaos. My guess is that after this, Brie will probably have to step down after the Nations Cup. Did they qualify for World Cup? No.
Cameroon, they have no, yeah,
Oh,
they
they
have
qualified.
ahead of Congo, ahead of Congo.
Oh yeah, they qualified. Yeah. All right. So maybe he'll stay until then. But this is a bunch of chaos. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is this: it's a very bizarre situation. We have two different types of federations. One is saying no, not the one is saying the Ministry of Sports appointed me, so I'm not gonna go. I will be dismissed by the Ministry of Sport, not FECAFOOT, which is the FA of Cameroon. So
Yeah.
it's between the president of the FA and then the minister of sports of that nation. So
Yeah.
it's a silly
Here's the thing.
situation.
So here's the thing. Legally, the ministry has more power than the FA, but FIFA will not recognize the ministry. They'll recognize the FA. So FIFA has the power to ban them.
Exactly.
But I think it's a good thing that the president has stepped in because this is childishness. And I'm going to
This
side
is,
with
yeah,
Bree. I'm going to side with him. They didn't pay him. So even if he did say he's going, they weren't paying him. And then maybe he says he wants to step down. Then they say, oh, we want to fire him. I defend that he should be on the team. He took them to the World Cup. He they didn't pay him on time. He's been aggrieved. So I stand by him. And I'm very glad that the president came in too. What are your thoughts?
so yeah, let's breathe. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let the initial coach who did all the work stay. This thing of appointing a new coach all of a sudden is not gonna help. Now he has to rebuild because now they have two squads. If two coaches have two squads, it means that either way, one or another, they won't have the same ideas for the team. It shows clearly when
But
they
I'm
have
saying
two
some of the
squads.
players overlap. Some of the players overlap on both squads,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
some of the players they overlap on the both squads, but it's not good in the
It's not
psyche
good.
of the players
And this goes to show you once again the level of corruption in
in football.
Africa. I now hear that Congo might I don't think it's gonna happen, but Nigeria's trying to query so that Congo loses its
Yeah,
position
yeah,
because of irregular. Same thing with South Africa. South Africa played what's his name, Mokoena when they weren't supposed to. This is
yeah.
African paperwork. Africans, we don't do paperwork. We need to do better than this. We need to stay on. We don't need
Yeah,
this type of chaos because we don't deserve to have more teams in the World Cup if this is the type of chaos that we have. At this late moment, the
we are
World Cup,
proof.
I mean, the African Nations Cup is starting on Sunday, and we don't even have for sure who's going to play for
Huh.
Cameroon. This is unacceptable. It's clown behavior.
Exactly.
Also,
And
they didn't resolve
you
the
know
South
what's
Africa
worse?
thing until late, and then they also in the African nations in the qualifiers for the World Cup, they weren't even sure of how the rules were going to be for points, where you negate the points from the last team that comes because the
Yeah,
team dropped out. It's just too much. Come on, this is Africa. We got to do better than this. What are your thoughts?
exactly.
Yeah.
My thought is what's happening now in Africa between all these different dynamics and metrics. It's showing and it's proving that Italian coach, right? That's Africa doesn't deserve. Us Africans, we always want to battle these things off the pitch, which is absolutely. If you lost, you lost. If you've been appointed, agree that no, you've appointed. For me, I feel like an FA should be more powerful than the Ministry of Sports. I know in the country, yes, but in football, there's an FA for a reason in football. An
Yeah,
FA can,
but the problem is that the FA is corrupt because sometimes, like this, thank God the president stepped in because it looks like Eto'o is politicizing this thing. He's abusing the power of the FA. Do you see what I'm saying? I agree with the FA
yeah,
should be, yeah, but yeah, I mean, ultimately FIFA, you're right. The FA should step in, but there's the question of does the FA have the right to just fire the coach like this? Even FIFA has to do some litigation on this. They have to have good reason for firing him because even him firing the coach, that's a political act too. Because FIFA has a rule that it can't be politicized. Although Eto'o is
yeah,
not he's not a political figure. He's more of the head. But they need to have some clauses that you can't just same example like the Nigerian NFF. Those guys abuse their power. FIFA needs to take a look into some of these federations because they say the federation has more power than the sports ministry, but it looks like these federations are corrupt. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
They're corrupt
That's a good
because
shout.
if you
Exactly.
get,
Yeah, I agree.
they're corrupt. So that and that's a separate issue from politicization, but it's a serious issue. Okay, last thoughts before we head out.
Yeah, my last thoughts is this thing is gonna drag for too long and it's gonna affect the players.
When is their first
You
game?
now you yeah, for example, FIFA allowed players to be only released on the 15th of December for the AFCON. Now imagine now you have two squads. These squads haven't met in any case. So now you don't know how to manage this thing logistically. If I was called up, I'm not sure if should I take my flight and go. Imagine now we're gonna have like a 100-man squad or a 50-man squad there, and nobody knows what's going on. Because FIFA really does delegate these things for too longer than it should be. So my final thought is, I hope FIFA actually deals with this faster, or the country itself and the people of the country give out an outcry and say, no, enough is enough. We need to have what you call it, a resolution as quick as possible. The Ministry of Sports should submit a letter to FIFA, a formal letter before they interfere directly. They must send a letter say, FIFA, we have this problem, 1, 2, 3, 3. Then FIFA can help. But if they
Yeah.
interfere directly into the matters, then FIFA will ban them.
Yeah, but this is a special case though where this coach wasn't paid. Then they said he resigned. He said he didn't resign. See that he's accusing someone of fraud here. This is a serious case. That's why
Mm.
I'm gonna back the sports ministry a little bit on this one because it looks like there's something's not right here. Maybe I don't know who's telling the truth
Oh,
about.
okay. Okay, so Mark Bryce, who was fired again? Mark Bryce, right?
Yeah,
So Mark Bryce complained to the Ministry of Sports and said, I haven't been paid, and the FA dismissed him because he's complaining, and they want to
yeah,
put
but they
Pogo.
said that
But
he
it's like, no, no,
resigned.
no, no. The
They
Ministry of
said he
Sports,
resigned. Yeah,
which sounds like a lie, which means that he complained to the Ministry of Sports, and the Ministry of Sports said, no, 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 no. That's why he's saying he will not be dismissed by the
yeah,
FA.
and
He will
also
be dismissed by the Ministry of
I
Sports.
also think that if the federation fires a coach because he says he hasn't been paid, then the team should be
It's a
banned by FIFA. They should be banned
FIFA.
because they're not honoring a contract. Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is stuff that goes to actually the court of arbitration. So this is gonna go to court of arbitration, and
Yeah.
then go to the constitutional court, whatever, whichever systems they use there in Cameroon.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be back. Hopefully, we'll have an update on because you know how it is in Africa. We have to go on the internet. Next thing I know, when I finish this, I'll hear that everything has
I
been
think it was
resolved. There's so
yeah.
many contradicting sources. But anyway, guys, you've been watching Complete Football Africa. We're going to be covering every day 24, not 24/7, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll be covering this
No,
tournament. Stay tuned for coverage for every single game. Our first roll of games that we're going to be talking about will be on Thursday for the game starting with Morocco. Then South Africa plays also. And I forgot, not Egypt, but we'll be talking about the South African
Angola.
match. Yeah, and Morocco. So stay tuned to Complete Football Africa. Like and subscribe. One of the fastest growing channels in Africa. We're trying to hit 1,000. We're at 700. We want to reach 1,000 before the end of this
Yes,
competition. And we're gonna continue rolling on with World Cup, African playoffs coming into the World Cup. Also South African League, Champions League, and Confederation Cup for Africa. Stay tuned to our channel. This is Mustafa Janadu from DC in exile from Africa, and I'm here with TK, who's in South Africa. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
good one.
All right. So yeah,
Good
we'll do
one.
the one on